Hi there, David here from daviddomeaudio.com, and in this video, I'll be showing you exactly what is in my recording bag. What do I use to record sounds here around my house, outside, wherever I go. So what do I use to create my own sound effects? And the reason why I want to do that is because I've had a lot of people just ask me about different gear and different things that I use. So I figured, hey, why not make a video about it so I can actually show you everything that I use. And especially because this is such an important skill as a sound designer. I've had it said and I've heard it said that actually being able to record sound effects is just as important as creating the sound effects themselves. So yeah, being able to record their own sounds and knowing what tools to use and how to use the tools that you do have to be able to create those sounds is super important. So yeah, so I'll show you all of that in this video. And also I want to show you kind of like the progression that I went through as I upgraded my gear, because a lot of the stuff I use now, actually pretty much everything I use now, I didn't have when I got started, right? So I kind of want to show you like what I used as I progressed so that you can get an idea of what's out there and maybe what might suit you for where you are at, and hopefully give you an idea of what you might want to look into for different gear and stuff if you want to purchase things that you might not have in your arsenal. So what I thought we would do is I'm actually going to show you like all the different microphones I use and all that kind of gear stuff, but also talk about a little bit how I use them and what they're good for. And then maybe even I'll show you some of the some examples of some of recordings and results and stuff I've gotten using the microphone. So maybe I'll show some of that on my computer as well. And yeah, so without further ado though, if before we jump into the actual like video portion, if you are a sound designer and you are on this journey of just starting out or just looking at what gear to get and stuff like that, this video is going to help with that. But I also have a little gift. It is my sound designer's gear recommendation guide. So it's a little like PDF I put together of different gear that I would recommend to a friend or even to myself if I was going to like start over, of things to look at and things that you might want to look into if you're looking at getting gear. I also included like a little portion about like software in there. So there's like different software and things that you might want to look into. So anyways, if you're interested in that, it'll be free. Links will be in the description below. All right, let's get into the video. All right, so like I said, before we get started, I want to actually show you what I started off with. And that was, first thing I ever used was just my phone here. When I got started, that's all I used. I used the microphone on my phone and I would just go around and record stuff. And it sounded really bad. I'm not gonna lie. It's not the best microphone out there, especially on these like Android phones. And this was like an older phone that I had at the time. So the recordings were great, but it was a starting place and I was able to bring them into my computer and just practice editing and stuff like that. So that is the first thing I did use. The first thing I actually purchased and bought that was specifically dedicated to recording was actually my Zoom F6. So let me actually go and get that right now. Here it is. So this is the Zoom F6, and I still use this actually. It's not my main rig. It's not the main thing that I use to record, but this is still a really good recorder. I do find that the noise on this recorder is quite high. Like the preamp noise is quite high. So if you're recording anything like quiet, it's not going to get any kind of good recordings. But it is a very good recorder. I like to take this out whenever I'm going on a trip, vacation, camping, whatever it is. If I'm just traveling or whatever, I can just grab this super easy. As you can tell, like it's pretty small. This is the case, and it has both the microphones in here. You have a mid-side microphone. You also have the mid-side, by the way, is this capsule right here, and it's really good for just recording ambiances and things like that outside. And then you also have like an XY microphone, which is this one, and that you can attach to the recorder. And what's great about this, of course, is that it's all modular. So like I can swap out the microphones. I just take this tab off here and I can just like stick it on here. I can just pop on the microphone on there. And then, yeah, I have like a choice of different microphones, and it all comes together, the microphone and the recorder. I don't have to buy separate microphones to be able to use in here. So that's the Zoom F6, Zoom H6. Yeah, portable recording device, really great. Records up to 96K 24-bit, which is perfect, more than what you need for recording high quality sound effects. All right, let's move on to the next thing that I purchased, especially as I was going into recording more detailed stuff like ambiances, like quiet ambiances, nature ambiances, and also I was recording things like whooshes and just things that are really hard to record well because you really need a really low preamp like the preamp noise needs to be super low, and as well as the self noise of the microphones also need to be very low. So when I started to do that, and I started to realize that the Zoom H6, no, even though it's a really great microphone and you can record a ton of stuff with that, just the fact that it's portable, super great. When I started to notice that, I couldn't get some nice recordings because of the noise in the recordings I was getting for these quiet recordings. That's when I started to look at getting something else. And that something else that I got was a Zoom F6. So let me pull that out right now. It's actually behind here on my camera. All right. So this is my rig. I actually kind of put this together myself. I was kind of inspired by Watson Wu. If you check him out on his channel, he's a sound designer. Anyways, he had like built his own like little custom handheld rig thing using, I don't remember what he used as his recorder, but anyways, I wanted to kind of create my own thing with this. And so I kind of copied or got some inspiration from him. So this is the Zoom F6 down here. It's just this little box down here, and that's it. And then you can plug in your own microphones, which I've done here. So I'll talk a bit about these later, but yeah, so this is the Zoom F6, and that's what I purchased and I use now pretty much all the time whenever I'm around my house or just going outside just to do some recordings. I'll use this because the preamps are super low. I can record at 32-bit, which means I don't really have to worry about gain staging and setting my gain right, especially when I'm recording stuff that's super quiet and then super loud sometimes. For example, if I'm doing like impacts, which I've done before, like I was recording ice, I was like hitting ice and stabbing ice, and sometimes they were super quiet and then sometimes like super loud and it's peaking my microphone. So it's really annoying to try to balance it and get it right. So now I don't really have to worry about that anymore. I can just set it and forget it, which is nice. And not that you shouldn't learn how to set your gain levels properly. You really should. But it's nice that you have that flexibility to be able to record super soft sounds and super loud sounds all in the same recording like that. And yeah, so what this is basically, it's the Zoom F6, and then I've attached on here a small rig handle, and this is a really nice handle. It's I don't know what it is. It's not like leather, but it's really comfortable. I don't know if it's like silicone or what it is. Anyways, it's super comfortable handle that I can grip onto. It's actually meant to be for cameras, like a camera gimbal rig thing. Anyways, I bought it just this to attach to the F6 here, so that I can have that on here. And then at the top here, I have a bar. This is a stereo bar, and this is it's called the K&M stereo bar. It's from the company K&M, made in Germany. Anyways, it's one of the few that I could find that was actually a steel bar. I know that Rode makes a bar, but I think it's like plastic or something. I didn't want to get plastic. I wanted something really strong and stable. So that's why I got this one. It's not perfect, but it is great. And the reason I'm saying it's not perfect because one of the things that's kind of annoying is that I can't bring in the microphones like super, super close. If I wanted to bring in, for example, if you look here for my two Lom Usi Pros up here, this is the closest I can get them together. Like I can't bring them here, if I could do this. I can't bring them any closer than that together. So that's as close as they'll get in terms of being together. So if I wanted to create, so yeah, I mean, like it's just in terms of recording, you might get some like phasing-ish stuff. Not really, like nothing that I've noticed. It's just, it'd be nice if they could be like super close together. But yeah, anyways, not a big deal. And actually, I kind of like when my recordings are kind of a little bit imperfect. I don't try to get pristine recordings all the time. Like sometimes you do want to, and sometimes I do go for that. But a lot of the times, because I'm going to be processing them so much well, I say so much because I'm going to be processing them in post and designing sound out of them. Like it's not a big deal if there's a little bit of phasing. But anyways, I'm saying this, not that I've heard it or noticed it. I actually haven't noticed it at all. But even if it did, it wouldn't bother me. So anyways, so yeah, so this is like my main gear, my main recorder, and how I use it. And what's great about this is I just have this on my desk right here in front of me. Like that. It just sits right here on my desk and I can just grab it and go. It's super fast, super quick, super easy to record. And I don't know if you saw, I actually have two sets of stereo microphones on here. So I have at the top up here, I have the Lom Usi Pros. These are the two at the top here. And then on the sides out here, I have a stereo pair of EM258s. And this is from micbooster.com. And these EM258 microphones, they are ultrasonic microphones, which is really cool. Anyways, I'll talk a bit more about that a bit later. I just want to show you the kind of rigs and how I kind of upgraded over time and why I upgraded. I didn't upgrade just for the fun of it. Like I actually had a reason to. Like the Zoom H6, even though it was really great, I really needed something that had a really quieter noise level. So that's why I went with the F6. So that's kind of the progression I went to get to where I am now with this recorder. All right, now that we've made it this far, why don't we actually go and I'll show you the microphones that I actually have and that I actually use when I'm just going around and recording stuff. So let's do that right now. Let's start with my main pair of microphones, which I already kind of quickly mentioned and talked about, which was this top pair up here, which are the Lom Usi Pros. So these top two here, up here, those are a pair of Lom Usi Pros. And yeah, so these they're very quiet microphones and they're very, very sensitive. So like you have to be very careful with them. They don't take a lot of, like the SPL is kind of low. I don't know what it's like, all the specs and all of that, but I know that if you hit any kind of loud sound in front of them, they will peak because they are very, very sensitive. So they really excel at recording stuff like ambiances. Not that they can't record other things like voice and whatever else. It's just impacts or anything that has a transient. It will not. It doesn't take it very well. So they're not built for that. But pretty much anything else, I will record with it. And if anything, I'll still have these on just to record, just because they have just such a, just because they're so sensitive, right? And so you can get a really noise separation. It separates the noise really well. You can get a nice sound out of these, and because they're so low self noise, and then the Zoom F6 is also really low preamp noise, I can get a nice clean recording from pretty much anything using that. So I'll usually have those on as just my main sounds to record stuff. So yeah. The next microphones that I use, and this is a recent addition to my rig here. I've only had these for about, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks at the time of recording this. And these are the EM258. So they're the outside ones. And you can see here, I put on like blue tack here to kind of glue it on, because these are really, really tiny. Why don't I just take a pop filter off of here so I can show you. So this is it right there. And I don't know if you can tell how small that is compared to like my finger. Like, look how tiny that microphone is. That microphone is freaking small. Like, it's smaller than my thumbnail. Okay. Like, it's very, very, very small. Okay. And that is my, like I said before, these are my ultrasonic microphones. So I'll just put this back on here just a sec. Just a sec. All right, yeah, so like I said, these are my ultrasonic microphones. What that means is that they can record up to, well, I mean, depending on the source material, they can record up to 96 kilohertz and even higher for some other source materials that I've recorded, which is insane. Like, the only other microphones that I knew of that could record this would be the Sanken 100K, Co 100K microphone, which costs like $3,000. And the crazy thing about these microphones is that they were $50 each. So I have to do a big shout out to, I think, what's his name? I think it was Aaron Brown from his website. From his YouTube channel. He did a video about these and watched them, and I pretty much got them right away, like he suggested. I like people should, and I highly suggest you do as well. Like, these are super inexpensive microphones, really tiny, and they're really great for recording high frequency stuff. So if you need something to record high frequency, especially as a sound designer when you're pitching stuff down, I mean, these are the kinds of microphones you want, because they're just, I mean, they record everything, which is amazing. And the other thing that I really like about them, which is very different from my Lom Usi Pros. So my Lom Usi Pros, like I said before, they're very, very sensitive. Any impact or whatever you create in front of them, they'll peak. As for the EM258s on the outsides here, they actually do not at all peak. Like, they can take a bit of a beating, which is really nice. Like, they can take, like if I'm creating impacts or whatever, or slapping pieces of wood together or whatever it is, like if there's loud noise, they can take it, which is really nice, because when you're, I mean, I can pretty much record anything with these, which is great because they're just super versatile, especially the fact that they can record up to like 96 plus kilohertz. Like, it's just crazy. So just the price point, I'm really impressed with these. I'm really happy I got them. So yeah, I just started recording a lot of stuff with them, and they're really great. Like, I've recorded some ambiances. They sound good with that. I've recorded some whooshes. I've recorded voice. Like, you can pretty much record pretty much anything. The big thing about it is that you do need like a recorder that can record at 192 kilohertz or higher to be able to make the best use of their frequency range. Because if you only record at 96, you're only going to be able to record up to something like 48 kilohertz. Anyways, I don't know all the like science. I'm not like super sciencey about that, but you do need to be able to have a recorder that can record at 192K or higher to be able to get all the frequency range that these microphones can offer. And like I said before, it does depend on the material that you're recording. Obviously, some materials will not have high frequency content information, and some will. So, yeah. All right, what do we have next here? All right, so next, let me show you inside of my little case here. This is by the way, if you're interested, this is a Nanuk case. It's kind of similar to the Pelican cases. Basically, they're waterproof. They also have pressure, like a pressurizer. So if you're ever like going on an airplane or something, it won't like explode or anything like that. Yeah, waterproof, and it has little compartments so that you can put like your different stuff in here. So I have like a compartment here for my Zoom F6 if I wanted to put it in here. I have a compartment here for my contact microphones. Another microphones here. Here I used to have a compartment for like my Lom Usi Pros and EM258s. I also have another like microphones in these top little compartments here. Other accessories like spare cables and things like that. So, anyways, just a great little container here, and I'm really happy I got this. It's really, really nice. All right, let's go into the next microphones that I got here, and this is let's go over my contact microphones. All right, actually, I'm gonna set this down. Oh, I don't want to break anything. All right. Okay, so this is the first pair of contact microphone that I've ever owned, and it is an expensive pair. I think they come at around $200 or $300 a piece, and I have two of them, so I have a stereo pair. But this is the Cortado Mark III by Zeppelin Design Labs. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. And this is the capsule here, the microphone. So these are not magnetic or anything. You do have to put like a little tack or whatever, like the blue little tack stuff on the back here. And then you can put this pretty much on anything, anywhere, and it'll record it. And I really like these. They say they can record up to 40K or something like that, 40 kilohertz. I think like it totally depends on what you're recording. Most of the stuff I recorded, I only see it go up to about 5 to 10 to 15K about. But I mean, that's just because I haven't recorded overly much with these, and it just depends on the material that you're recording with them as well. So they're really good to get the body of a sound and to get to not have any noise from whatever you're recording. So you just stick some glue, put it on whatever surface, and then you can record with these. The other thing that's really great about these is that they are waterproof. So obviously this little container here is not waterproof. Don't put this in water if you ever get these. But the capsule here for the microphone is waterproof. So you can stick this down into any kind of any water anywhere, and then you can do some water recordings with these, which is really great. So yeah, they're really useful and handy for that. And I have, like I said, I have a stereo pair of these, so these are awesome little contact microphones. Yeah. Oh, maybe I should show this. Why not? So on the back of this little box here, you actually have some, I don't know if you can see this, you have some like different little levers you can switch on and off. It's hard to see on the camera. It's not really auto-focusing right now. Anyways, so what it says is there's a bass boost, and there's also like a pad. So if you ever want to increase the bass response out of the microphones, you can turn this on. It'll help bring out the low end. And then you also have a pad. So if you're recording anything like super loud or impacts or like that, you can turn these on, and then it'll bring the sound down to like negative 10 dB. So you have a bit of flexibility in terms of recording using these. All right, let's get the next one. All right, the next microphone that I have here to show you is the Lom Geofon. And this is it right here. Lom Geofon. It is a contact microphone. What's interesting about this one is it's meant or was designed to be able to record seismic activity, so like earthquakes and things like that. So it's very sensitive, but this one is specifically designed for sound design. So what's cool about it is you have 3 different like adapter pieces. Here is one. This is the magnetic piece. So this can attach magnetically to anything metal like this. Like if I wanted to, I can put it right here on my stand and record that like that. It also has like a suction cup one, which doesn't really work well, but anyways, it's fine. And then there's one where it has like a stick, and you can kind of stick it into the ground so you can record whatever stuff into the ground, and you can get some cool sounds out of that. And of course, I mean, you could also put some blue tack on the surfaces and then stick it on pretty much any surface that you find anywhere. So very versatile, very sensitive. And this is, if you need like low end or like sub frequency stuff, like this microphone is the microphone for that. It's just, this is exactly what it's built for. It's all sub, and it sounds really, really good and really powerful. So very flexible, but it's very, has a very unique purpose. Like you can't design anything with this thing. It's very much a sub microphone. So yeah. All right, let's talk about my next pair here that I have for you, and these are the Lom Elektrousi microphones. So this is the 3rd pair of microphones I have from Lom here. These are the Elektrousis. And by the way, if you're interested in knowing more about these, I made a video about, I think it was these and the Geofon. So if you want to see them, I'll probably put them in the cards above. Where is that? Up here? Up here? anyways, it'll be in the cards above if you want to see it. But yeah, these are Elektro Usi. So basically, they pick up electromagnetic sound and noise, and you do need to be really close to the source for these. So they're really cool because you just get a bunch of like different noise and beeps and sounds like that. You can't like really talk into them. You won't hear anything. It has to be some sort of electrical sound. So I can put it up to like my screen, up to my recording device, my phone, any electrical device you can use. You'll notice about these as well is that they have a smaller pin. This is what is this? 8th pin? What is this? Anyways, it's not an XLR. So you do need an adapter for this, and I do have an adapter, which is right here. So this is the adapter I use so I can plug it into my Zoom F6. So it's just basically 2 XLRs to a 1/4 inch adapter here. So I can just stick these, bam, like that. Goes right in. And then I can put these 2 into my Lom Usi Pro, my Zoom F6, and then I can get a stereo recording using this. If not, you get, I don't think you can get a stereo recording, or at least you can't record like with the F6. I'd have to record with the H6. So so it's just more flexibility. You have more power. Like you can create a stereo recording using this and these 2 together. Again, very specialized, more like electromagnetic type of sounds, stuff like that. So, but yeah, Lom Elektrousi Usis. All right, last but not least, this is the final microphone that I have, which is the microphone that I use for all my videos and that I'm talking into right now, and that is the Shure SM57. It's just a timeless, a classic microphone that has lasted for so long in any given studio, and there's a reason why people use it is because it's just so rugged and well built, and it's kind of indestructible, and it's good for almost anything. It's very good, and I think it was initially used for like drums and drum kits, especially because it rolls off some of the high end around 15K, so you don't get much information above like 15, 16, 17K, which is fine. So I use this because I was able to get it for $100 way back when I first started, and I've kind of been using it ever since. It's not necessarily a like microphone for voice, but it's been suiting me well and working decently well, I think. I don't know. Maybe you can let me know differently. I've been thinking about upgrading, so maybe I will. But yeah, let me know what you think about this microphone on my voice. But yeah, I've mainly been using this as my voice microphone. I always have it right here attached to my desk, and it's going straight into my computer so that I can just record a video and just go. Or if I have sound effects I want to record on my computer into my DAW, I can just plug it in, turn it on. It's already plugged in. I just turn it on, and then I can go and record my voice for whatever project I'm working on. So this is the last of my microphones, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, those are the 5 microphones that I own, that I use. And what you'll notice is I don't have I don't have like something like a shotgun microphone, which you would think I would need, and maybe I do need it. I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know like what am I missing out with not having a shotgun microphone. I've thought about buying one before, but I don't know. The microphones that I have here I've been able to make do with them, especially for the kind of sound design and stuff that I've been needing to make. So I don't know. But let me know what you guys think, especially those who have shotgun microphones. Should I buy one? Should I not? I don't know. But anyways, these are the 5 microphones that I use and that I use to record stuff around my house. So like I said before, just a quick recap, like the Lom Usi Pros here, those 2 are for like ambiances and delicate sounds that I want to record. Anything super quiet or anything, delicate, I'm going to be using these 100% all the time. Out here, ultrasonic microphones, I try to always have these on just to record so I can get super high frequency information. And like I said before, like these are my mains. I'll try to record as I'll try to have these on whenever I'm recording anything. But yeah, and then if I need something more specialized or I'm looking for a different kind of sound, then I'll take out my contact microphones. I'll take out the Cortado Mark III, those 2 contact mics, along with the Lom Geofon. You can get some really nice sounds if you just like stick them on whatever surface. So again, more specialized, but if I need to do that, I'll take those out and I'll record with that. And yeah, one of the things, maybe for those who do not have like multiple sets of microphones like this, one of the things I do like to do, and I do as well, is that I'll make sure to always record with as many like sources as I can. So with the Lom Usis, my 2 EM258s from micbooster.com, I will also add, let's say I'm adding 2 other like contact mics. I'll make sure to record with all 6 of those microphones so that I can get as many different angles, and I can mix that later in when I'm doing my final design, right? I can mix in a certain microphone maybe that I want more than the other or whatever, or I can automate it or whatever I am doing with the sound. So I just have more to work with. So I do try to do that whenever I can. But yeah, this is pretty much it for all of my microphones here. All right, I think I'm going to end it here just because I feel like I've been talking a lot. I did say I was going to show some examples, but I think this video is getting a little bit long, or at least on the long side. So if you do want to see examples and see how the microphones sound on whatever sound source is, let me know. Maybe leave a comment below, and maybe I'll make a separate video about that, and maybe I can go into more detail about a specific microphone if you guys are interested in seeing or hearing about it. Yeah. Also, check the description. I'll make sure to include links to each of the microphones that I have and that I showed in this video, and just some of the other gear I have. Like, if I can, I'll try to find the link for this handlebar here and the Zoom F6 and H6 and stuff like that. So if you're interested in picking them up, you can just click on the links directly. And finally, just a reminder about that guide, my Sound Designer's Gear Recommendation Guide. Links will be in the description below. I think that's it for now. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, whatever. I'll do my best to answer. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it useful, valuable. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.